The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Kommunity Kerbals Ep8. I'm your host, Devious Dave Rose, and no intro music for us today. Today we're going straight to it. We're going to alternate a bit from history, and instead of organizing for training in rendezvous, orbital rendezvous, we're going to go for a direct ascent, or direct descent to the moon. So I appreciate those who have chosen to join us. I know it's not as exciting as that shit show drama excuse that some were watching a little while ago. And yeah, that was very, very sad. But regardless, I'm here to have some fun, and welcome along. So hello to Ronald Booth there in the chat. Now, what we're going to do here is get OBS here to transition to this, and we're good. So we're going to go back to our save game of Kommunity Kerbals. When we last left off, despite skirting several life or death situations, Mello was finally destroyed. The demon that was known as Mello was finally destroyed. And now we can go on training new astronauts and getting more community members in here. So let's see here. We got Mars and Nikki. I'm wondering if this should be a no hard feeling moon landing. We proved that the previous capsule, single man capsule, worked very well with Cronin Kerman, and he planted a flag to celebrate that monumentous event. We've lost Bird and D. Welsh, as well as the demon known as Mello, formerly known as Mello. But we've already, there's Cronin there, he's on the EVA. But yes, we have a monumentous mission to plan, and one that we want to succeed. So why not do that with a landing on the moon? And direct descent should be sufficient, though the backup of having orbital rendezvous is never a bad thing. So first thing that we want to do is we want to test out or create some sort of system that's going to land us on the moon. So we can go with the pre-made one or go with our own. I always do like to create my own, but we're going to open up. Let's see here. There's Mello's favorite ship, the Seaman Demon. We created another heavy lifter the other day. The Community one, yes, that's the the BWC was immense. Let's look at that again. This thing definitely can pull a lot off. So let's see what we can do with this. Okay. So there's sub-assemblies. There we go. And we want this. We're going to call this the Joule 5, sort of in recognition of the Saturn 5. Alright, so now we're going to start a new one. Save. And our, let's see here, our mission name. Clout 11. Landing on the moon. All right. So this will be the famous Clout 11. We gotta crew it with Mars, with Nikki, and we're going to make Ken. He's got some courage. It's kind of stupid from time to time. He's a veteran. I'll make him a badass. I think all three of you guys are badasses. And we'll make him a pilot as well so that he can fly. And yes, create. And now I might have to reload this. So let's just open up another one. Actually, no. Oh, that's why, because I've got to... Alright, excuse me here. Shout out to the chat here. We got Ronald Booth, Austin Talk Show, Nikki Nines, The Nine God, Chad, Vikings. Yes, Chad. I'm glad you bring that up. Maybe I'll have to make a space drama diner in this as a space station to discuss space drama. But yes, I was also flabbergasted at that statement. Truly, it came out of left field, and it was just very unfounded, to say the least. So, astronaut complex. Where is Ken? Ken, where'd you go, Ken? Oh, there we go. No, hold on. Ken, where'd you go, Ken? That's weird. Quit to the menu. Actually, yeah. Because this is technically the No Hard Feelings crew. It's got to reflect that. So for some reason it didn't fucking create this. So let's fucking try this again. Oops. Can. Veteran. Right. There we go. I don't know why it's not showing up. Available. I don't understand. Am I missing something here? I have no idea who the dislikes are coming from. This is the weirdest thing. Okay, well, let's do this then. How did I do this before? There was the ability to delete them. Well, that's very strange. Says it did it. Well, let's do this. Since there's a lot of people here, this might... This is kind of... I don't know, there's something weird going on here. Well, we're going to definitely get this result, so... Let's open up another craft. We're going to load this with a few people here. Let's see if we can cull the numbers of our roster. Nice supersonic. Alright, so back to the Space Center. So, Nikki, are you back working in an office now? That's what what's his name was insinuating there. Where was that? There we go, on the launch pad. Space Station 1, where's that? Oh, this is the rocket that we sent out the other day on escape trajectory. Alright, so back here. He mentioned it in Wire's last stream. It may have been an excuse not to call in, says Chad. I didn't hear that. I haven't heard Nicky on one of his Wire's streams in a while. Alright, so back to the astronaut complex. Hello. Alright, so we've removed a few, and let's see now if... Okay, so we've lost these people. That's fine with us. Let's see if we can finally get Ken created here. Come on. I honestly don't know why it's not creating them, because we were able to create like 6 of them. Let's see if I do a random one, make it female. It doesn't look like. Weird. Very weird. Well, I want authenticity on this. So I'm going to quit to the main menu. And I'm going to actually quit the game. I'll start it right back up, and we should be good to go again. But yeah, we're going to send this team to the moon. They're our all-stars. And we're going to make sure that they land all right, that they've got... Yes, Festlove. Yes, Festlove. We confirmed it. Mello is still dead. And now that I'm rebooting the game, I'll show you and confirm it again. We definitely checked that out before we continued anything. And yes, the demon has truly been expunged from reality. Sent back to hell where he belongs. But, there's still the matter of S.E. Steve, and he deserves a similar fate. But perhaps one that lasts even longer. So, back to our saved Kommunity Kerbals game. Gotta say, the game's been running very fluidly since my upgrade. And although a fair bit of strain, if I had a better video card, I could really go nuts on it. But, you know, that considered, even the small boost in memory that I gave it definitely helped out, at least from my suspicion. All right, so crew, hold on. Before we do that, we're gonna go back to the astronaut roster, or astronaut complex. Check the roster. Okay, so these people that I did create last time are there. We're gonna remove them, and here's the proof, Festlove. It's funny that you can remove these, dismiss them. Mello, still dead. Missing in action, they say. But we know that justice was done. So, let's get this done. Kerbals, create, Ken. Ken's a pilot too. And he's got some courage, but he's also got some stupidity. And he's a veteran and badass and create and still not showing. But we do know that it will create them. So, one more time, people. Remember, this isn't the one that you can buy off Steam. So that version has the kinks worked out. That's like 2.0, I believe. This is 1.8. And I do believe I have 1.9 as well. I don't know why I installed this one, but whatever. It's almost identical, really. It may have been either a compatibility issue or something like that. But regardless, this is what we got. And, you know, I still have some tweaking to do and stuff. I might have both versions installed on the computer just to see the difference. But, yeah, we're going to fast forward also through time because people want to see all these things that I did have planned eventually, but it seems like they really want to see a space station, for example. Before I had to stop playing KSP, there was that rocket that I designed, which was going to be Mars's like strip club rocket, where like there was going to be the shuttle has an internal bay, and it would have opened up and it would have had like a stripper pole and like lights and like a sort of stage and then a DJ booth at the top. And yeah, it would have been able to load up a bunch of the Kerbals and stuff from the community, and what's it called? Yeah, just have some fun there. I see somebody saying I'm being blown up, so I'm gonna check out the chat. Just flipping over to my computer screen here, but yeah, 19 dislikes and 6 likes. I guess someone has a day off or something, or I don't know. Maybe they've got time while they're in rehab, but that's fine with me. I mean, I'm having fun. This is the problem with this game. I could play this game for hours. But it's like SimCity, though. It's like, how do you want to plan this properly? And yeah, it could be problematic. All right, so back to Cloud 11. Why is it not giving us fucking Ken? At least these guys are being shown as killed in action. Isn't that cool? there used to be the option to delete them. I don't know what. I can't remember what it was that I was doing previously to be able to delete them. I might have been just messing with the fucking. Might have been messing with the registry. Let's see if this works. Apparently not. That's not very pleasing. All right, well. I guess we're going to have to wait on landing these gents on the moon until I can get that resolved. But that could be easily resolved by doing this. Okay, so you people want to fuck around, huh? Let's send you guys on a one-way trip to hell. So, we're going to open up BWC. And let's see here. Call this BWC2. Actually, no. This can hold how many Kerbals? 4. Alright, assholes. Let's do this. There's Ken. The fuck? Alright, well. These people shouldn't have fucking messed up with the roster. So, serves them right. Launch the motherfucker. Isn't J.R. Ford III, isn't that just the tip for eating the tossed salad, is the silver dollars? It's like, here, and clean yourself off. Let's see what this rocket can do. It's overloaded with all these people. Fairly well designed rocket, the Kerbal X. I know we're experiencing turbulence. In a very strange and weird coincidence, almost the entire Community roster was eliminated, killed in a technical mishap. In other news, the shorting of the stock of the rocket company shot up, and several billionaires made a lot more money. But it's not connected whatsoever. Remember, you get satire and subtle sarcasm, here on this stream, as well as some entertaining science. All right, so now let's clean the launch pad up. There we go. So now that our roster is a little more open, it's not so, bogged down with affirmative action hires and diversity quotas and stuff. Now we can get back to business. We need to land 3 of the biggest names in the community on the moon and get them back alive. And that will be on the Clout 11. So although we are starting with this capsule, we do have a sub-assembly ready to go. This is the Joule 5, which I may have to change the name of. Now we will be testing this before sending the gentlemen out, and we won't risk their lives. But it shall be a very powerful rocket. And eventually we'll have that community club rocket with Mars. And somebody else, I can't remember who it was the other day, so be sure to call out for affirmation in the chat. But whoever it was that suggested Mars should go to Mars, I think is, appropriate due to the name and such. Now, personally, I do love having landers and doing orbital rendezvous and stuff, but I think you guys just want to see us land on the moon. So we can just go, old school direct descent. So we're going to have to start off with some thermal protection. And let's see here. Okay, so, by the way, if anyone wants to call in, feel free to do so. Skype lines are open. But we need to make a lander here. Because remember, we're going direct descent. We need everything on that. How much fuel does this have? It's a nice amount. That also provides stability. Yeah, I like the old school direct descent method. That I think that definitely gives us assurances that this will get to the moon no problem and get these boys back, because that's the big thing. All right. We need a battery. We're gonna eventually need a battery. We needed a coupler first, obviously. Eventually, we'll get a rover on the moon, and we'll get people to drive them and such. Here's the thing, though. There's 2 ways of doing this. The logical sort of trying to save everything, counting the numbers way, or just like the balls out, like we're throwing everything at it we got way, and we're doing the latter here. Normally, when you want to create a lander, you want to try to limit the amount of weight that's on there, and that's why they eventually went with the rendezvous method. because the lander itself is very, very lightweight. It leaves a portion of itself on the moon's surface, and then the ascent section is what meets the capsule in orbit, and that eventually gets dropped off in the the CSM crew service module is what goes back to Earth. And obviously with the limited amount of mass, it allows for the limited fuel that they have on there to get them back there properly. But you know, just like the Soviet way, you throw everything at it. That's more German accent, but that's okay. Kind of like them better. But regardless. Okay, so we want a decoupler. Not the stack separator. Those things will really push hard. Okay, decoupler. Let's see here. Oops. Battery. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to get another one of these decouplers here, because we're going to create a second, we're going to make a stage in here. Although we don't necessarily need it. We're going balls out. And let's see here. I want something good to get off the moon. 60. The aerospike might be good. 180. So 60 newtons. On the moon. I'm just thinking here. On the moon. That should be. I'm sorry. That should be sufficient to get off the moon. That's a good engine as well. I think that's what we're going to go with. Alright. Yeah, this one's going to be a heavy motherfucker, but yeah, this is going to work just fine. Alright, Buttes. And that. Goodbye to that. Okay, we need now engines to land with. Now, we could go with these and just pile a bunch of them on there. Or we can go with... these ones are way too powerful for a fucking moon landing. They'll fucking shoot us back into fucking orbit. Let's see. And because of this, we can apply multiple. So, these ones aren't too bad, but they're a little small for the size of this craft here. Just going to look back at the chat here. Well, so the wall overbuilding is the key to success for Toyota. Yes, actually. And well, it was Volvo too until they were bought out by the Chinese, but... let's see here. Which one are we going to do? Because... So if I was to do this and go like that, oops, right? But then go like this and make them internal, right? So I flip them around. And I can even go as far as doing this. So just get a little closer. Actually, hold on. Where was it? There we go. Tool move. Yeah. So if I move these in, right? If we look at the bottom, they're all basically now inside. So I could keep moving these in closer if I wanted to. And now we have got a nice ring. Yeah, there's clipping involved and they're overlapping, but you can go, you know, you can really play around with this. And yeah, it's fairly realistic too, you know. So if I was to now, yeah, see, you can, this is the cool thing. You can rotate this, so you want them to point down, bam. Now it is locked, but you can actually unlock that so you can adjust it. But by doing that, it gets them in exactly the orientation I want, which is direct down. You know, not wasting sort of thrust in multiple directions. I'll, you know, I can add different rockets to that if I want. So now if I select, whoops, no, I'm going to go back to tool move, so select this again, and we go back out a little bit. Okay. So now they're a little further apart. Perfect. See, I love this. They're nice and separated. And they're nice and even. They're not too centered. This is good. Next, we want landing legs. So, let's see, where were they? Utilities, right? No. I believe, yeah, these are the strongest ones. And in true 1950s retro fashion, you know. Nice and spread out like that, but issue with this is that these are exposed to the atmosphere and such. So there's a potential that they could be ripped off unless you deploy them shielded. So let's see here. Can we get a decoupler on this? It's not gonna do it the way we want to. Oh, that's too small, actually. That's why. All right, perfect. So, let's see here. Now we want the assembly. So that's the lander, that's orbital, let's see here, boom, orbital insertion, lander. I think this stage needs another one. Huh. So, we gotta get some control modules here. 4. Actually, fuck. adjust this. Ugh, God, it's... I'm gonna have some issues with this. But, I'll figure this out. What I've got to do is obviously provide drogue chutes here, and what else? So parachutes. They're going to have to be able to... The issue here is these thrusters are kind of are preventing the ability to provide a ladder down here, and I'd have to put them offset to still allow them to be here. Probably use less ladders. Yeah, we can do that. I guess I could just offset them. Yeah. So now we just need a ladder. See how long that goes. And then we'll need another ladder. Oof. See, it doesn't reach. So we'll do that. Extend. These go, so this should be a little bit further down. We'll add a couple of these. Down so it's there. And we'll add a few more of these. Perfect. All right. Cloud 11 looks like it's just about ready to go. Alright, so we got Mars in there, Falmouth, Ken, and Nikki. I'm thinking this should be sufficient to get to the moon and back. So let's check out our staging here. So we get these going, then that. away from us. Separate that rocket. Nope, that's a problem. That should be there. So separate, engine goes. Separate, engines go. Separate, engine goes. No, and there's another problem, so we need to get these separate on there. And then we actually want the drogue chute first, and then the last three. All right. I think we're good to go. I think we are ready to attempt a landing on the moon. But before, actually, we do need a few of these solar panels. Actually, we'll take these ones instead. And I guess I'll put one over here too. Alright, so let's launch it. Clout 11. What's up, Casey Israel? We're launching the boys, the No Hard Feelings crew, to the moon. Or to the mun, as they call it in this game. But it's spelled M-U-N. Have I ever played Among Us? No, I have not. Alright, so looks like that it is evening time, so we're just going to do a little time warp here so that we can do this during the daytime. So the boys are looking all ready to go there. Chad has a comment in the chat, which I will read out now. He says, "Just make sure you bring our boys back home, Dave. We don't want to have any funerals for a bunch of burnt ashes like the Soviets would do to their guys." Yes, absolutely. And, definitely not write them out of history as the Soviets unpersoned people. All right, well, here we go. It is now morning. And, this is a very extremely powerful rocket, a very dangerous one, to be honest. But we're looking to, again, this is all about numbers, apparently. So we're showing the numbers to the evil Soviet young Republicans and S.E. Steves that everyone's tuned in to watch these guys land on the moon. Not, an illegal troll who somehow thinks that he's funny. But let's get this show on the road. Let's see where the moon is right now. Okay, so we're going to make an orbit this way and then have the moon ready for intercept. So, activate SAS. This is truly a momentous occasion here, ladies and gentlemen. We have three of the biggest names in the community, yet again being the true trailblazers and pioneers that they are, creating actual content and making history. Unlike those on the YR program, specifically pieces of shit like S.E. Steve, but not excluded to them. And the numbers don't lie, do they, gentlemen? The numbers don't lie. Everyone is cheering in the community, just cheering at seeing these boys make history and get to the moon. Not like reviewing shows for 3 days in a row and never really getting anywhere or doing anything, but actually making a difference and showing people that there is a better way. So, because we don't have any of that nonsense here, we shall be truly celebrating a momentous event. And we are all right to heap our contempt onto that garbage over there. So now, as our rocket is becoming fueled, we have our 3 heroes in their capsule awaiting permission to launch. It's too bad I don't have Mars here to give us his actual voice to do this, or Nikki. But I'll do my best at the imitations, which aren't very good. But gentlemen, you have permission to initiate launch sequence. This is Mars, and yeah, let's do it. Hey, Kian. Let me play this sound clip 5 times. You're so stupid. Scott, you're so stupid. Okay, that was my impression of all 3 of them. Whatever. All right, so gentlemen, you have permission to launch. Capcom, go. Systems, go. Launch, go. Throttling up. 40%. SAS on. Target the moon. Liftoff. We have liftoff of Cloud 11. Heading to the moon. Yes, KC is raw. This game is cool. It looks cool because it is cool. And I don't know how to be a full-fledged member of the Snake Pit. I don't belong to them. Now, this game is even available on the PS4. So, look into it if you want. Now, we are about 4 kilometers up, 5 now. Reaching supersonic speeds. We will be beginning a roll maneuver in a moment. Commencing roll. 10 kilometers up. Apoapsis reported at 60 kilometers rising. Thermal temperatures reaching maximum on solid rocket boosters. Apoapsis increasing 120. Completing roll. Ejecting solid rocket boosters. Ah, fuck, no. We're gonna restart this, revert the flight. This keyboard, I'm using my waterproof keyboard. Ah, we were doing so well. Everything was fucking timing perfectly. Motherfucker. Oh, well. Let's do it again. Just give me a second here. Okay. Gentlemen and ladies, I guess, do apologize for that. But this was looking like everything was going to go great. So let's do this again. And we're going to have to forward the time. Or warp speed. I still think in the terms of a VCR, so my apologies. Also, something I've got to do is, now that we've got sun, I'm going to press the F5 key. And F5 means quick save. So, and I think Alt F5. Yes, Alt F5 allows us to quick save as. And we'll call this Clout 11. Moon landing launch. Or actually, Clout 11 launch. There we go. But we built a very proficient rocket because everything was going exactly as planned. And it could be a lot bigger, actually. But we got a mission to do, so let's do it. All right. You have permission to launch Cloud 11. Throttling up to 40%. SAS on, and the pad has been cleared. So we saw that the apoapsis shot up beyond 100 fairly quickly. We want to actually start our roll sooner. So at about 10 kilometers, we want to start to go directly east, which is 90 degrees. So watch this grow. Once that's at 100, we want to go directly on the equatorial. So we want to continue to proceed. Like that, perfect. Now we increase our thrust. So we can actually cut our engine entirely. We're entirely out of the atmosphere right now. And if we want to keep ourselves in this direction, we can always activate SAS. But now what we want is we're going to add an orbital maneuver here. Okay, so periapsis 94, 187, that's good enough. We got about 2 minutes before we complete this. We want to stay on target. Back to our map view. What's up, Irish Dave? So we've got a lot of fuel left, and we need to pull off about close to 1,200 meters per second change in impulse to accomplish this. And we're waiting essentially till we get to our apoapsis point here. It's a little bit past that, but regardless. So we're going to, at 10 seconds, we're going to hit the throttle. So we want to go to our maneuver node here. And we're using a little bit of RCS to push ourselves in that direction. So this says about 30 seconds. That means 20 seconds. Just pushing ourselves a little bit further. We got 10 seconds now on the clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, we're burning this off. We're increasing our periapsis here. Fuel is going quite well. Beautifully designed rocket. We want to get, well, we're waiting for this. Our periapsis will go to about 93. Now we got it full throttle here, and this is a strong engine, so we got to be very quick on this. We're almost there. Have to reduce another about 50 meters per second. And our velocity, almost there, 20 meters per second, reducing throttle, almost there, and we're just going to go for a nice perfect reduction. Target. Come on. Well, we can remove this nonetheless because our periapsis is at 92. We still have substantial fuel left in this. Well, not substantial, but sufficient to at least launch ourselves towards the moon. Unfortunately, it will remain in orbit, as it is quite large. And eventually, we'll probably put together a mission where we're going to launch a rocket and try to capture as much space debris as possible. Or we'll make a warship, and we'll fire missiles off at it and destroy it. And actually, there is a plugin that I need to install, which allows for anti-gravity or electrogravitic engines to be installed in certain craft. So I can make a UFO and stuff, and, sky's the limit. So, we got the moon there. We're a little slightly off on the equatorial. Actually, not too much, no. Not too much. Almost perfect. And yeah, we got to wait till we complete this orbit here. So as we come out from the Earth and see the moon, that will be our cue to begin firing directly to the moon. So we're going to try to get ourselves into the prograde direction. We're going to keep our eye on monopropellant. Good thing is, though, in space, your momentum will carry you. So, let's see here. Our electric charge still looks good. We might have to extend our solar panels here just to ensure that we don't run out of anything. Looks like the boys are having some fun there in the cockpit. So there's Nikki. He's looking around, smoking his vape. I think that's Ken there. Let me just go back to the view here. Oops. So, oh, Ken's flying the... No, Ken's on the... Whoops. What did I do? Wrong thing. Mars is piloting the craft. He's in the middle. So this is Mars. He's looking over. That's Nikki. And that's Ken. Custom seat for the robust gentleman. And now we go back to our external view. So all we got to do now is just wait till we get around to the moon and fire off. So we're going to do a little bit of a time warp here. Let me just check to see. Okay. Getting there. So, as we wait for this, as I've been alluding to previously, I will be starting up a show very similar to the type of show I was doing with Darker Things and The Dark Room. And hope to start doing that soon, probably this week. All right. Great timing, actually, because there's the moon. Now we hit it with everything we got. Try to intercept. Okay, so now, whoops. We gotta keep ourselves. Oops. Okay, so it's got a big ass, so we gotta wait till we point in a prograde direction. We're gonna eject the stage here. And as soon as we get ready to hit prograde, here we go, people. We're off to the moon. Periapsis to the moon at 1.3 million. Let's see how low we can get that down. Okay, so 87 kilometers, right? 87,000 kilometers. So yeah, the periapsis is too low, so I'm going to be crashing in if I don't adjust that. And I've got a lot of fuel, so I want to get ourselves into a good orbit. All right, so 127,000 meters, so it's 127 kilometers. That should be sufficient. Let's go back to our rocket here. And now we are on our way to the moon. So I'm going to do a little time warp for us. And we slowly leave the influence of Kerbal as the boys make their way to the moon's surface to make history. Three of the biggest names in the community being guided by the smartest man in the community all the way here back on Kerbal at the Community Space Center. This mission is guaranteed to win. Speaking of, because we always want to make sure that we're winning, as I complete rolling this joint here, let us now do a quick save. And we'll call this Clout 11 moon insertion. All right. So there we go. So we are on our way to the moon. Shout out to the 12 viewers that we have. No shitty piano here. All right, so we're going to time warp so that we can get this done a little bit quicker. All right. So now we have about 1 hour, 36 minutes to intercept that. And I'll slow it down so that we can continue to play around with orbital maneuvers. And what we're going to do is, since we've got a nice orbit here, 127, it's up there, but it's not too bad. So we want to add a maneuver, and we want to close in this. Okay, so we want our apoapsis as close as possible to 127 or a little bit lower. $134, 126. You can reduce it a little bit lower. 124, 130. That's good enough. And since we're at an angle, I want to try to correct that. Let's see. No, we're going to cancel that maneuver, and we're going to try it again. So 127, 31, nope. A little bit more. 105, 129, yeah, that's good enough. we'll adjust the orbit after we've established that. I'm just having issues seeing it properly here. So we want to go to our maneuver. And we've got, it says an hour or so, so we're going to time warp. Hope everyone's having a good night tonight. All right, so we got about 20 seconds. We are right on target here. And yeah, we're going to want to change this. We want to get the normal up. So 10 seconds. And we want to go down until this is reduced to nothing, or as close as possible. Almost there. Ah. Well, good enough. All right, so we are now in orbit of the moon. Another milestone conducted by these truly heroic individuals who have now been the first three to ever orbit a natural satellite of Kerbin. So what we want to do now is we want to get to our periapsis and adjust our orbit, because we want to change this to normal. Whoops, a little bit too far, but that's fine. Let's point to the, actually, anti-normal. Okay, so now I can try to add a maneuver here that will get it on the equatorial. Oops. Boop. Is that the one? Just about. That's a better one. Yes. Very good. Very good. Okay, because the reason also why we want to get an equatorial orbit is because of the fact that there are some anomalies, some structures, alien structures on the planet at the equatorial, and it's a lot easier to find them when you're on that. There's this huge arch, there's a monolith, there's a bunch of other things. That reminds me, Alt F5, Clout 11, Moon Orbit. All right, so we're going to time warp a bit so we can get to our maneuver. We want to point ourselves in the direction of our maneuver. I'm just going to do a little more time warp here. Okay, so we got about 40 seconds. Remember, we do this with about 10-second margin. So in about 30 seconds. 20 seconds. Our craft is ready to go. There we go. Perfect. 0.0. We eliminated it perfectly. Beautiful. Beautiful. And we have still a substantial amount of fuel left. So now what we can do, and this is the great part, is now we can, because we are basically in a very stable orbit, we can reduce our altitude here, because this one's going to go fairly low. Still, you know, you can still go at 20 kilometers and be okay. But I believe I'm trying to remember where the arch is. And what we want to do is we want to come in to land, coming in fairly shallow over the surface so that we can see where the things are, all the different anomalies, the structures, everything. And I believe it's somewhere over here where the arch is located, between these two massive craters. But what we're going to want to do is get over to here and then reduce our apoapsis to as low to the surface as possible. So now comes the fun stuff. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to here and get ourselves, I guess, into a prograde direction, a retrograde. And we're going to time warp. Okay, so now we're on the dark side of the moon, essentially. Or the unlit side. And now we can start reducing our apoapsis. So we are already pointed in retrograde. And we see that the apoapsis is really shrinking a lot. So let's see here. It's still a fairly good orbit. I mean, it's almost equal now. But what we can do is, this is what we'll do. We're going to just reduce our orbit so that we can pass over potential landing sites before we plan our landing. And maybe we can spot where the monolith is prior to just trying to make a blind landing. Okay, that should be good. Is it 48, 38? Yeah. All right. This should be good, though. All right. Okay, so we're going to do one orbit of the planet just to see if we can see exactly where the anomalies are. But they should be just basically below us in this area, and you should notice them. They'll actually pop out from the surface. Still time to get over the area that I suspect is where they are. But there's several. Like I said, there's several, and I know they've added more. And it's really cool, the difference between, like, it doesn't look like that up here, but when you get down there, the differences between this dark area and the lighter area, it's crazy. Beautiful, look at that, Earthrise. This is a historic moment, ladies and gentlemen, a historic moment for the community and for these three heroes, these truly American heroes. Let's check that out in full screen. Look at that. Beautiful. Truly an awe-inspiring view. Something that we can all be truly proud of as members of the community. All right, so we should be coming over or close to the arch if they didn't move it. But I suspect it's somewhere here in this expanse here, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. That happens. But this is obviously worthy of the reconnaissance that we are conducting right now. And it's cool, though, is that this game actually has those scanners and stuff. So if you were to attach one of these scanners onto a probe and it flies over a planet, it'll map out the ground, and then it'll show like there's an anomaly. Oh, like there's something weird here. The ratings are off. And like, you know, you land there and you find this monolith or a fucking arch or something like that. So it's cool how it all comes together. And you can use the technology to actually locate these things. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to see, this helped me before in the past when the game wasn't as evolved. Um, as I look over the horizon, because this arch is fairly large. I believe it's 2 kilometers in height, according to the game measurements. So in the past, I've been able to see it breach the horizon, and it gives me an idea. Okay, well there it is. So, trying to use that same strategy again to see if it works. But yeah, wait till we finally decide to land. That's when the fun really happens. You know, a lot of people. I know that we've seen various views today, and you know, this isn't everyone's cup of tea. But it just you've got to be patient with certain aspects of the game. Yeah, you want to fucking cheat with the game and just put yourself into orbit of another planet? Yeah, I could do that if you guys want. Yeah, that's no problem. I could make a huge fucking starship and just put in the middle of fucking space, and yeah, we could fuck around. Or I could, you know, try to do it the hard way and see, you know, test my metal, see what I can produce, and see if my rocket ideas are, you know, worthwhile. So, you know, the same applies to everyone. I mean, it's really up to you what you want to make of this game and what you want to make out of it. So, yeah, it's just something to consider when it comes to this sort of thing. Because again, I've got it on sandbox mode. I mean, I can do anything I want. I can make anything I want. There's no budget limits. There's no story limits. Nothing. But to me, it's just fun to test out different designs, see if you can make them function, just, you know, see if you can actually challenge yourself to survive, and, you know, maybe even try to make it as realistic as you can, because obviously it's a game and so forth, but trying to take in real life applications and stuff. And for example, if you have a nuclear engine, you would place it at a position furthest away from a crew cabinet or capsule. You know, because if not, radiation would adversely affect somebody. But it's whatever you make of it, and I'm just having fun. And whether we got the numbers or not, as Wire was saying earlier today, I couldn't give a fucking shit, because this is about having fun. Maybe somebody will also, I don't know, start to enjoy space as much as I do. Maybe get into this game, learn things. You know, I just like sharing my love with this game with others, just as I like to share knowledge with others. So let's see where we are right now. It's not showing our icon. Oh, that's right, because I've got this on. There we go. Okay, so technically it should be somewhere, from my belief, it's somewhere here. It's along this stretch. We'll have to see. But we should be able to see it from this point. We are at 40 kilometers, about, orbit-wise. And it should be fairly evident, because it is fairly large. And, you know, it's good that we have the sun on our at our back here so that we can actually see this if it pops up. If not, we'll go for one more orbit and then deorbit much closer to this surface here. So if we've missed it on the first turn, we've got the second orbit to maybe see if we can, you know, find out its location. But yeah, I mean, I could have looked this up, because yeah, you've got the fucking maps and stuff on the internet. I could have looked it up and seen exactly where the location was, but I thought it'd be more fun just to try it out, experiment. Already, I'm very, very pleased with what we've accomplished. This engine here, if we were taking, you know, Apollo 11, this engine here should have just gotten us to the moon, and like it would have been dropped off. This thing still has almost half its fuel, so it can help us do whatever the fuck we want, because then we've got the lander. Yeah, and obviously different from Apollo, where there was this here, all this is a lander and launcher. And and it's overdone. It's over-engineered. What would have normally been in place of that would be an actual lander, which would have been stored back here, and then the crew module, which would have ejected, turned around, grabbed that lander, pulled it out of this stage, and then moved out of the way as this thing continued into, outer space orbit or a return orbit to Earth, where it would eventually just, hit the atmosphere and stuff. So, let's see what we got. I keep checking the phone for the chat. I still got to check, fix the computer to fucking get it to show that. I've got a second screen that I'm going to install on this computer, so I'm a busy boy with a lot of things to do, but sometimes you just got to play a little Kerbal. So far, I have not noticed any anomaly, and we're about to go into the dusk area. And, yeah. Well, we're going to have to figure this out. I should have brought us some sort of scanning equipment so that we could just look straight down at the planet and maybe figured it out. But, hey, we're doing this at the cuff of our sleeves. Is that how it goes? Cuff of our pants? I don't know. There's some sort of saying with cuffs. With hemming and seamstry and all that sort of thing. So, pardon me, I'm a little distracted by making sure our boys stay alive. All right, well, I have not... Okay, you know what? Fuck that. I will fucking cheat. I'm going to fucking Google Images. KSP, Moon, Arch. Show me where this motherfucker is. Ah, is that where she is? Clever girl. Clever girl. It's at the top of that. Okay, hold on. So let me see where we are. It's over here. That's where it is. Right there. Let me just make sure that that's the case. Just want to go back to... Because they've changed the map. 0.9 or 1.8 actually. Do 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 do. Okay, hold on. Oh, it could be over here. Maybe that's why we didn't see it. I think that's where it might be. So hold on. We got this guy. I'm looking at another map, which is quite different. No. I'm finding this. I'm going to find this. I don't know why they keep fucking moving it around. Can't wait till the lockdown's over here. I need a new fucking keyboard and mouse. You'd think they'd just open shit up by now, but they don't. Ontario is quite fucked, if you ask me. All right. So, please bear with me here. Jeez, I don't know why they make it so fucking difficult. All right, well, we're going to do a little time warp, see if we can wait for the planet to get into a little more sun. Because I suspect it's this crater over here, the one that's in the dark. And yeah, they've changed. I was just checking out all these different images, and they've changed. They've changed the location apparently multiple times. So it's really just a matter of tracing it down to, or tracking it down to where it's now located. But that shall be our landing site. If these gentlemen will be the first community members to land on the moon, they must do it in a very historic fashion. I'm not sure why I can't talk today. But we shall get it done the right way, regardless of how long it takes. And then, oh, the joy begins, because landing on planets is fun. Creating these landers is just a big challenge, especially, you know, when you want to keep these people alive. And sometimes you've got to send rescue crews to fix your previous engineering problems, as we saw for my Kerbin stuff shut my computer down. But yes, we may encounter that in the future. All right, so I believe it's this one here. I believe it's up here. Yes, that should be it. So, as we come about, what I'm going to do, okay, about here, let's take a look at the planet, see if we can actually see it. Sometimes you can actually see, okay, so there's the, hold on. I'm going over these craters right now. It would be somewhere over here. It's just to the north of our location. It should be somewhere up here, according to what I'm seeing on the interwebs. Problem is that it's just so dark. It should be somewhere up there, because this is the rim of this crater here. If anyone sees it, please let me know. But from what I remember, yeah, it was on the ridge. Problem is, this is still fairly dark. I mean, to land on. We'd have to do a little bit more of time warp to just make sure that we can land somewhere where we can see where we're landing. The visuals in this game are great, though. And I mean, the better and my computer isn't, the newest, so if you had newer hardware, it would be, and I'm talking about newer than 6 years, then this game would run fucking even better. I don't see it. All right, well, oops. What I believe we're going to do is we're going to land. We don't have much of an option in regards to lowlands here. A lot of craterous areas on the moon. So it is a challenge to find a good, spot that's even. Because here's the problem is that your radar will tell you a certain distance to the ground, but it's telling you to sea level. It's not actually telling you to the surface. So you can overestimate, underestimate, and really encounter problems. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to now fire and retrograde, reduce our orbit as much as possible here. And now we are in very shallow attack mode, or attack angle. And we have a lot of ground that we can cover. We still have a lot of fuel and a lot more in our lander to allow us to slow down and get just about anywhere. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look down to our landing areas, potential landing areas. As you can see that we are passing over what appears to be a little crevice valley right just below us there. And I would believe that the best place to land would probably be between these two craters here. It seems to be the one with the least amount of mountains and craters, and we still have some time available to adjust any necessary changes. There's still other areas here, but again, I'm going to choose what's on our orbital here. What's up, Danny MT in the chat? And we are now traveling at 483.5 meters per second in orbit. That's a surface speed, or surface velocity of 473 meters per second. And like I said, we want to, this view is beautiful. Look at that. Oh man, wish I was an astronaut. Even if I would have to lie about UFOs and aliens and all that shit, it'd be worth it. And that's probably the reasoning why most of these motherfuckers keep their mouths shut. Sorry, I carried the one and carried the S. All right. Now we get to the serious portion. Danny MT, this game is called Kerbal Space Program. These little things here, they're called Kerbals. Kerbals. And they act all crazy sometimes. They're cool sometimes. They're funny. And this is sort of a rocket. it's an aerospace sort of simulator game where you can create rockets and space planes and jets and all sorts of crazy things. And when things get nutty, the physics get crazy, and there's explosions and things go wrong. I've got a whole series on YouTube that I've been doing on this, so check it out. It's a lot of fun. But because this series is called Kommunity Kerbals, we have analogs to people in the community represented by their respective Kerbals. So today we are really making history by getting 3 of the biggest names in the community, in their analogs, landing on the moon. Or in this game it's called the Mun, M-U-N. And it's really cool. It's a lot of fun, and whether you're a nerd or not, I think you would enjoy it. Well, anyone would. Unless they hate science and freedom and intelligence. But that's neither here nor there. All right, so we are now at an altitude of 36 kilometers. Going at a speed of 500 meters per second, which is quite quick. We want to reduce that. But we have a lot to work with here. Let's see. We're going to hit it now. If we reduce it even further, okay, so we still have substantial amount of fuel. Yeah, I hear you, Danny. That's the problem. I mentioned it earlier. It's a very addicting game. It's like SimCity, where like you really get into the design of all these different crafts, and you can have a lot of fun doing it. All right, so this looks like a fairly steep trajectory, but nonetheless one that we can utilize for our benefit. We're going to do a little, I think we're going to do a little hopping. Shall we do hopping? No, we're going to reduce it further and then do some hopping. Now we're going to go to normal. No, is it normal? No, it was not supposed to be normal. All right, there we go. We want to go retrograde. So we've reduced our speed quite a lot. I mean, we're only falling at 85 meters per second, but we reduced ourselves to the point where we were just about to go back up. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of this stage here. We're still at an altitude of 28 kilometers. And we're falling, again, it's increasing the speed, but it's not that fast. And if we just activate our engines, it reduces that velocity quite a lot. And we still have a fair bit of fuel. So what we're trying to do really right now is just eliminate the fuel in this stage while reducing our speed as much as possible, so that we can then eject this portion and utilize our landing stage. So we are now at an altitude of 23 kilometers, basically falling straight down. which is good because that's where our momentum is. And it just allows us to control things a lot better. I'm firing a little bit now. kilometers. And velocity at only 92 meters a second. I mean, this stage alone could just easily shoot us up, so just trying to be careful with this. I also don't want to come in too hard. I mean, we are at 18 kilometers, but we don't want to get too quick here, so. Jeez, there's so much, yeah, it looks like a sliver here, but. Okay, so there we go. We've expended that. Launch. Hold on. Gear out. Prograde good. And okay, so now we're falling. And our main engines are working. So I want to try to move ourselves a little. Whoops. There we go. I didn't want to land too close onto the ridge there. Monopropellant looking good. Surface speed at 30. Looking good. About 4 kilometers up. This is probably one of the best places that we could land on the edge of a ridge. It's perfect. It's the best photo spot and best location for testing samples in real life and such. And this is good. Ideally, we want 3 meters per second. Not exactly the way we needed it to go, so let's try this again. want to kill my surface velocity as much as possible. These things can be unwieldy. Fuck. And we are down. Whew. Let's just do a quick save there. Clout 11. Moon landing. Woo! They made it. They made it. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is so greatly calculated. You guys don't understand. We have this section here, which has maybe a third left of the fuel, that got us, with my fuck-ups, onto the moon safely. We got a whole section here that's full of fuel, which, if we need, can get us off the moon without this section alone and probably get us back to Earth, no problem. But this now allows us to launch off the moon and still have this entire tank full. So this is fucking beautiful. We've landed in a almost perfectly level location, and it's hard to find that at the moon. Beautiful fucking sights. Holy shit, look at that. Beautiful sights. Where are we? We're actually on the rim of a crater. So the crater's actually up there. And it's perfect. Everything came out perfect. I'm very proud of this, whether or not we have a lot of viewers or not. To me, it's not about the numbers. But regardless, we have now accomplished yet another milestone in Kommunity Kerbals, and it was fucking fun doing so. So the next step is to mark this monumentous occasion by planting a flag and having all three of them, all three of the big wigs, the big names, the big boys, the no hard feelings crew, pose for a picture and plant the flag. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to extend the ladders so that they can get out of the capsule nice and safely. And first off, we'll make it our pilot, Mars. This is one small step for Kerbals, one giant leap for community kind. Ah, Mars. Too much celebrating. All right, get up. Good stuff. Yep, shimmy your way outside of that. Why don't you look at us? Come on. There you go. Mars is really enjoying this beautiful, beautiful new environment. So there we have Mars in front of Clout 11. Now we're going to go... this is Ken, apparently? Oh, it's Ken. Okay, so it was Ken. These big, burly, strong guys, they all look the same to me, you know. So, yeah, so let's go back to the ship here. Come on. Which key was it? Oh, yeah. I know. It's been a while. Oh, yeah, was it? Yeah, there we go. All right, so Mars now is going to get out. What's up, bro? How'd you confuse me and him? We're two different people. You know what? Fuck you, Dave Rose. And fuck you, YR. Little fucking scumbag rat. Okay, let's go, Mars. Get off. There you go. Come on, this way. There you go. At least you didn't fall down like Ken. Come on, get in your pose there. No, this way. Want a nice photo for the people at home. Ken, how about you? Ken? Ken? Look at the camera, Ken. Yeah, this way. There you go. And last but not least, we have to go to Nikki. That's right, Nikki's in the capsule here. And he will now proceed down the ladder. Got a very efficiently designed capsule. I'm very pleased with it. Could have put the ladder a little bit higher to avoid that, but fine. Where'd the boys go? There they are. All right. There we go, people. And hold on, let's go to Mars. And Mars will plant, no, Mars will plant, come on, plant the flag. And this will be called Clout 11 moon landing site. At this location, 3 of the biggest names in the community made history by being the first to land on, to orbit and land on the moon. It's about the numbers, YR. Fuck SC Maricon. Alright, so let's get these boys in a better position here. Got some Mars. Look this way to the camera. Oops. And be sure to take your screenshots, people. We want Nikki a little bit closer. Oh, no. This way. There you go. No, there you go. And last but not least, we got to get Can. Come on, Can. There you go, Can. There you go. Oh. Move outside. There you go. Yeah, the flag was blocking you. There you go. What a beautiful sight. There are the boys. Let's do a little save here. Quick save. Hold on. Quick save. Look at that. Beautiful sight. 3 great milestones being done. 3 men, orbit, landing. And the 4th milestone will be the return safely of those individuals. For some reason, Mars seems to be flipping out a bit. I don't know why. Ken seems to be on good behavior. Nicky's cool. He's digging it. I guess he's got a vape built into his helmet. But, yeah, it's looking great. Nicky's doing a little dance. Anybody else want to do something? There you go. What are you doing, Ken? You're itching your hand? And so is Mars. All right, boys. I think you've done some good things. I don't know. Maybe one of you want to go visit one of those craters over there or something. I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Well, Mars looks like he maybe needs to take a piss, so we're going to put him back inside the capsule. No, that's not Mars. So who was having the fucking... That was Nicky. Nicky needs to go take a piss. So we'll activate his rockets. He's in a hurry, so he's going to activate his rockets. And just... Oh, no. Nicky, don't fucking fuck around like that. You could break the solar panel. No. Don't do that. Just take your time. It's okay. If you concentrate, you're not going to piss yourself. You're not going to piss yourself if you concentrate. Come on, Nicky, you can do this. There you go. Climb it. There you go. It's not too difficult. All right, so go take your piss. Nicky quickly is removing his suit so he can alleviate himself. Yeah, right. It's another fake message. It is telling me that my phone provider is interested in sending me some sort of message. But we know it is fake. All right, so while Nicky takes a piss, let's see here. We got Ken. Ken, I think, wants to go explore. Mars is looking at the capsule. So Ken's going to activate his rocket pack and check out what's out there. Look at that. All right, Ken, I think you fucked around enough. You don't want to get get hurt out here. Wow, you went half a kilometer. That's crazy. These rocket packs are fairly good. Oh, Ken. Ken. I think... come on, Ken, stop it. Unreal. I think that's enough fun time for you, Ken. You can get back into the capsule there. No rocket for you. You could just climb up the ladder. Come on. There you go. All right, so Ken and Nicky are back into the capsule. Now, okay, so here we have our capsule, and this is very similar to several proposed methods to land on the moon back in the late 50s, early 60s. One of them was a military operation. Well, there were several military operations. Essentially, each branch of the military had their attempt to try to make their own space system. Landings, bases, shit like that. I believe, was it the Air Force project was called Lunex, Lunex. There was also one called Project Horizon. That was, I believe, an Army operation. The Navy had something else as well. And they had several different types of landers that were sort of envisioned, including one that looked similar to this, where you had this, again, like I set it up, where you had this as the descent engine, and then here, which is, there's a shroud around it, it's got another pair of engines to launch it off, similar to what we saw with the Apollo, where you've got the descent and then the ascent engine. But obviously it looked a lot different than this. So I have two options. I can either actually just fire off this stage and leave this stage, which still has substantial amount of fuel, or launch with this stage and then take off with this, which would just provide that extra margin, as I tried to build it into everything, that extra margin to give us that extra fuel in case something fucks up and we need to correct ourselves. So there's a couple of options here, so I'm gonna make a save. I'm going to do this. So I'm going to go Alt F5, Moon, Ascent, Alt 1, or actually Alt 2. And then Moon, Ascent, Alt 1. So Alt 1, we're going to, what's it called? Keep lander. So instead of basically firing off with these engines here, like we would have seen with, say, Apollo, we're going to take off with whatever fuel is left on here to get us back into orbit, and it's just going to be a stage that either, we leave it into a decaying orbit and it'll fall back to the planet, or it'll stay in orbit essentially. And me being, very clean in that respect, trying to make sure that we don't leave anything in orbit. But okay, so let's go back to Mars, who's on the surface of the moon, and we'll just have him go back into the capsule here. They've made history. They've landed on the moon. They've got supplies for quite some time and quite a lot of fuel. But they've also assisted in proving that this design is a beautiful design when it comes to landing on the moon and even sending other cargo ships. We could potentially, for example, instead of having this stage here, could have easily been a rover in there, or a portion of a moon base that could have been rotated off on its side and then placed onto the surface of the moon. So this is a very great delivery system that we've essentially developed. Community 1 being a great single-person capsule, and potentially a very good deep space capsule as well. We have the BWC, and the Seaman Demon, which were Mello's favorites. And we now have the Clout 11 Joule 5 rocket system. Let's take one last look at our beautiful landing site. Everything has gone picture perfect. It's been very beautiful. Very beautiful. Just a testament to the work that all these individuals have put together. At the factories, the corrupt politicians, everyone that, pushed this forward, including Stanley Kubrick and the studios that allowed for the filming to be done there. So that was great. Whoops. Well, that's what we were planning to do anyway, so let's get going. Gear up. All right, so 49 kilometers, that's good. What do we got for that? 4 minutes. Let's add a maneuver. We want first, oops, no, we don't want that. Cancel. Nice. Trying to get equatorial. That's our periapsis 33, 72. What's our fuel? I don't like that too much. 31, 32. I'm not sure if I can avoid that. Oh. 44, 59. Actually, that's better. I got 2 minutes for maneuver time. Oh, this is going to go well. This is really allowing me to just fine-tune this. One minute, 50 seconds. Let's see. $66.48. 470. 1 minute 10. Yeah, that should be good enough. All right, we're just about ready to go. So we're going to put ourselves into position for our maneuver. And we're going to hit it now. All right, so now we eject. Get nice and close. Good. meters per second. Almost there. Let's see how much we can reduce it. We almost had it. But 0.1, perfect. All right, so now we are in orbit. We have, looks like maybe 60% of fuel left. And all we want to do now is we're going to wait till we've got a nice proper orbit at this point here. We want to make our return to Earth as easy as possible on our fuel. So what we're going to do is wait till we get to this point, which is basically as perpendicular as possible to Earth. So now what we do is we do this. If we increase the apoapsis, whoops, hold on, whoops, little less, nope. That's not supposed to happen. No. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our apoapsis to intercept with Earth. But we can move this around. So yeah, when these guys land, that'll be the end of the stream because I gotta make some dinner. I'm trying to get the rumblings in the stomach. But yeah, we're going to get these boys back home. Gonna wait for a different position here. Just need to get that apoapsis into Earth's influence, Kerbin's influence. Ah. I'm just going to have to get as close as possible. $6 million kilometers. Hold on. 5 million. All right, well, we're going to do it. So, fast forward our time here. All right, so point to our target. Boys are ready to go. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. 0.0. Reduced it perfectly. So, we're going to time warp now. We should be taken into Kerbals' sphere of influence. And apparently we weren't. Interesting. Okay. Well, like that. So 4 hours. So let's time warp. Alright, so we're going to point to our target here. Got enough fuel to basically reduce our orbit here. And here we go. Gonna wait till this is down at the bottom. Keep an eye on that fuel. Come very close. Okay, so here's what we do. Still got time. Activate RCS. We need to reduce momentum here. So, if I remember correctly, was it H? Yes, see? Reducing. So now we keep that little bit of fuel, and we use our RCS monopropellant, which you have substantial amounts of, to reduce this to practically nothing. And it's much better than using a rocket engine. It's much more accurate, doesn't come out as strong, and it's easily adjustable. So this is absolutely perfect. We did cut a little close there, but we're already to the point where, you know, we would have still been able to utilize monopropellant and some fuel to get us into the atmosphere, which would have essentially ensured that we would have landed, because the atmosphere would have bled our speed off sufficiently. Perfect. Another perfect insertion. That's what she said. 0.0 meters. Beautiful, gentlemen. Beautiful. You've done a great job. You have proven yourselves as being the godsends of the community. And now it's just a matter of you returning to Earth. So you have a periapsis of about 676 kilometers, and we're going to have to reduce that once we're up here. But yeah, this will allow us essentially to just make sure that we don't skip out of the orbit altogether. So let's speed it up a bit here. All right, let's go. Okay, so we're going to add a maneuver here, and we want to reduce that periapsis. Oops, let's see. Periapsis of 17 kilometers. 70 kilometers, yeah, that's good enough. Not much speed needed actually at that point. That's perfect. Okay. So we want to point to target. We have how long? 42 minutes. Let's speed it up. All right, so now we're going to fire. Now we're going to use RCS again. Perfect. Another perfect insertion. And that's what she said. So, where are we gonna land? We can't really control that. We don't have much fuel left, so we're not really gonna mess around with that. But yeah, this will help us a bit to just reduce our speed as we're coming in, because this looks like it's going to be a steep angle. So let's speed it up here. The boys are coming back. All right. Periapsis is at 17 kilometers. They're going to enter the atmosphere at about 50, which will slow them down substantially. If we boosted it a bit, we might be able to get to Kerbin, but it's a long shot and we don't have enough fuel. Now, what we could do is try to correct the normal. Still have time. Still got a substantial amount of monopropellant. Alright, so what else can we do to reduce this? It's not having much effect, unfortunately. You can only do so much with monopropellants. So we are returning to Earth now, and let's see here. See if maybe we can land in a more sunny spot. There might be some effect happening here. So I'm going to put myself in retrograde. And I'm going to fire off my engines. No. Where am I? There they are. Okay. I get it. Alright, I'm going to try to use as much monopropellant as I can, just to remove it entirely. See if I can reduce my mass. And yeah, there's part of these games that aren't the most exciting. Can't really ever expect, you know, all these games to be good. All right, so we've entered the atmosphere. Entered it a lot quicker than I expected, so I didn't have a chance to eject that section earlier, which I should have done. Very stupid of me. But that maneuver that was just done to swivel to the side isn't something that isn't just what capsules do. ICBM MIRVs, multiple independent reentry vehicles, you know, the nukeheads, is what they do to. Especially because they're going in at these Mach speeds, to escape from that injection vehicle and not basically blow up when it ejects it in front of it. So, but here we go. So the boys are heading into the atmosphere, despite Community Space Command's fuck up. They look like they are on their way to land, and at a height of 18 kilometers, we've released the drogue chute, and a beautiful night for a landing. At this point, we'll also release, well, at 10 kilometers, we will release the 3 parachutes, which will, in turn, inflate once they reach the appropriate altitude. The rest of the parachutes. And although this is a night landing, which is unfortunate, it is a milestone yet again for Kerbals Space Community. And once these gentlemen land, they've been ordered by Space Command to remain in their capsules until morning, so that they can set themselves up for a nice, beautiful photo op and plant a flag to celebrate the return and the first successful landing and return from the moon. And it looks like we're going to be on ocean, so there will be no actually, are we over ocean? I can't even make it out. Well, if there's ocean, then there won't be any memorial. Let's see. Could be the highlands as well, so. But a great accomplishment nonetheless. And yeah, something that we can celebrate, because these three now are veterans, because they actually orbited a planet, a satellite, the moon. They landed on the moon. They walked on the moon. And then they were able to return to Kerbin and live to tell the tale. Truly a milestone event, and definitely one to be celebrated. So about less than 500 meters from the surface of what appears to be water. I can't tell. And once they land, we'll be able to determine what happens. But this is a great tale now, because now we have a proven delivery system to the moon, and we can get anything we want on there. We can get some clowns on there like YR and the rest of his fucking faggoty team. We can set up a moon base, call it Cloud City. You know, there's so much. I mean, we could make a I don't know, space station. Well, that's definitely going to happen. So maybe that'll be what's next. But we've accomplished a lot of things, and it's worthy of further celebration. Yeah, and it looks like we are landing on water, unfortunately. I was hoping to leave some sort of flag planted in the ground to commemorate this very special event of these three great gentlemen. But we're going to need more volunteers for the space roster. Beautiful, beautiful gentlemen, beautiful. You are truly, truly heroes of the community. So I'm going to go back to the tracking station. And we are going to recover Cloud 11, which is in this location here. But let's see if we speed up time so we can see exactly where it landed. All right, so there we go. Off the coast of this scrawny pseudo-Argentina type country continent. There we go. And literally halfway across the world from from the space center. But hey, they got back home, and that's what counts. Too bad they couldn't have landed closer to here, but hey, beautiful. There's something there, though. Seems to be that there's something on that island. So Cloud 11 will be recovered, and the three shall be written of in stories of legends. So there we go. But yeah, I think that's the end of today's show. I got to go make dinner. This game can be addicting, so I've got to remember that. But yeah, thanks for joining me here today. We have now accomplished a great thing. 3 great members of the community have now landed on the moon and returned safely. So thanks for joining us here on Kommunity Kerbals. I'm your host, Devious Dave Rose, and we will see you all next time.